Hello there, beautiful people. Karibuni sana to the only show that focuses on real issues. Tonight I will be your guest host, Carol Mutunga. This is Power Talk Show. Na kama vile nimewaambia, this is the only show that focuses on real issues. So siku ya leo tutakuwa tunaongelelea something that has been in everyone's mouth, everyone's mind. That is the AI. Unajua kila mtu kwa mtaa amekuwa akisema, ukiona tu kitu unasema, hiyo ni AI, hiyo ni AI. Oh, anatumia AI, huyo ni AI, si mimi ni AI. So what does AI really mean? And then with me in studio today, I have two panelists whose opinions might vary kidogo kidogo, but they are here to educate us and make us understand hii AI ni nini? As in, apart from what you're used to seeing on the social media, kama comment sections za TikTok, ni AI. So, nataka by the end of this show, tuko tumefika ile place yenye mtu akisema hiyo ni AI, you really see something different from what you're used to seeing when you hear the word AI. So right now, before we begin the show, I want us to start with some survey that was conducted by a company called KPMG that shows the survey of how much people, or rather other countries, are prepared to use AI in the world. So I'll go direct into it. This is 66% of people globally use AI regularly for personal, work, or study purposes. Around 59% of people use AI at least semi-regularly for personal purposes, i.e. daily tasks, decisions, hobbies, and online tools outside of work or school. And over half of workers globally use AI tools to work. And many do it without formal approval or training, leading to errors and risks. The survey specifically points out that about 83% of students regularly use AI tools in their studies. Let's go to usage frequency. 38% of people report using AI weekly or daily in any context, that is personal, study, or work. 28% use it semi-regularly, that is every month or few months. Then we have 34% rarely or never intentionally use AI, meaning many people use AI without even realizing it. 46% of respondents globally are willing to trust AI systems. So the period surveyed, that is between, this survey was conducted over November 2024 up to mid-January 2025. So as I had told you earlier, guys, in studio with us we have experts on AI who we will be talking to understand AI more. And I am going to start with Edwin Rogoi, who is an AI expert and somebody who has, from what I have seen from his work, this is somebody who trusts AI and somebody who uses a lot of his resources to teach more about AI. So Edwin, yes, tell us more about what you do with AI and what AI is to you.
So I'm an AI enthusiast and an educator, and my primary focus is to make sure that people understand what AI does, whether it's individuals, whether it's teams, through consulting, training, and content creation. So for me, I use AI a lot. I'm actually a very heavy AI user. And part of that is because a lot of the work that I do has to relate to AI, and also I do a lot of research. The whole point of my company being Eddie's AI Lab is because I experiment a lot with AI tools, and I've made it my mission to train as many people as possible and to upskill as many people as possible with what AI can do, the opportunities it can create, and the possibilities that are there once you master these AI tools. Yes.
That is really amazing. And before we go any further, I would like to introduce Becky to our audience as well. Guys, Becky is a psychologist and she's here to tell us how AI affects us human beings psychologically, vile imesaidia ama vile inatu affect in our daily lives. So Becky Wanjiru, you are a founder of a foundation that deals with mental health and such things. Tell us more about it.
Thank you so much. So Inner Bloom Foundation was formed in 2024. Okay, so it is a community health. It is a community that I built actually to deal with mental health. You know, being a psychologist, I'm very passionate about helping people who are affected by mental illnesses, you know. So once I came up with this idea to come up with this particular community, I really felt it's something that can really help people out there. You know, yes. So Inner Bloom Foundation was formed in 2024. It deals with mental health. We have our social media where we do content pertaining mental health. Yes.
Nice, amazing work.
Yeah.
And to any of you actually, what is AI to you? Like, ukisikia the word AI, what comes into your mind?
Okay, to me, AI is a tool of leverage. It's a tool that you use to increase efficiency in whatever you do, to increase creativity, to increase the output that you give to the world. So for me, I use AI as a tool of leverage because with the many AI tools that exist today, there's so many things you can do with them, and you can combine your career to any of these AI tools to help you become more efficient, more capable, and faster at what you do. So for me, I see AI as a tool of leverage and a tool that, if used very well, can give you an extremely good head start in whatever you're doing. Yes.
You're saying a tool of leverage.
Yes.
Kwa mtu mwenye ako nyumbani hajui mambo ya AI nini, like this is something that is very new to them.
Yes.
What do you mean when you say a tool of leverage?
What I mean is that you use AI to enable you to be much better in what you do. Leverage means that you're using AI to boost productivity in whatever line of work that you are in. And so when I say boosting, or rather when I say as a tool of leverage, I mean you use AI to boost your output. If you're a graphic designer, you combine that with an AI tool, you become a better graphic designer and your output becomes better.
Perfect.
You understand? Yes, that's what I mean.
And what was your first encounter with AI?
Good question. So my first encounter with AI was in January 2023. November 2022 was when ChatGPT was launched. So in between November 2022 and January 2023, there was a lot of buzz going on around what ChatGPT was, and I was not very interested at the time. So it happened that in my line of work as a graphic designer, since I also do graphic design, I had a client who needed content creation services. So she wanted me to create content around a law firm in Chicago. So given that I'm in Kenya, there's no way I could know what happens in Chicago, especially in the law firm, or rather in the law space of Chicago.
True.
And so I had to think outside the box. And so in my line of research, I bumped across ChatGPT on January of 2023. And it's in that moment that I realized the potential that was there, because initially I was to deliver the content packages to the client within 3 weeks. I was able to do that within 4 days. And in that moment, my mind was blown as to what I had just discovered. And from there, I went into this deep dive into all these AI tools. What is this artificial intelligence? What do you mean this thing can actually reply to me like a human being? I was so fascinated by the opportunity that AI had created for me at that time. And I was fortunate enough that the minute I discovered it was when I was also able to monetize it, because I was now able to sell content services faster to more clients. Yes.
And Becky, vile amesema it made his work easier that time, ilifanya akafanya kazi ya 3 weeks in some days. In psychology, have you used AI in any way?
Yes. So for me, I encountered AI back in 2024. That's when I started using it exclusively. And as a psychologist, I find it quite like helpful for me. So how do I use it? For me, I use it to in documentation, in cadexing. In psychology, we have something known as cadexing. So cadexing is basically like documentation. For those who are there who don't know what cadexing is, it's basically documentation. You get to formulate a good report of a client. So for me, I deal with clients. I deal with people who come with different mental issues, be it addiction, all those mental issues, you know. So basically AI helps me to formulate good documents. And once you have a good document of that particular client, unawezanga kujua where have we reached. to where are we going to, where are we headed to, yeah, as a therapist, and him or her as a client, you know. So first of all, in documentation. Number two, in research as well. I'm one person who loves research, you know, getting to know things, researching more about things. So that is one thing that I really love as well. So in research as well, let's say another thing is creating this pictures. I'm sure that you guys have heard about Canva, right?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Canva. I'm a big user of Canva. You know, I'm a big user of Canva. I use Canva to generate many things like posters and all that. So I believe it helps me in my line of work, especially when I'm generating posters. I told you that at Inner Bloom Foundation, we get to hold online webinars. We get to generate, we have like community outreaches program, you know, such things. So I'm able to use Canva, which I believe has like AI features, to be able to create some stuff for myself as well, yeah, to post online so that people can see.
Yeah,
Exactly.
understandable.
Yeah.
And when you have talked about having clients that you have to talk to, I know most of them work on issues zingine, but do you ever feel like when you're talking to somebody, do you ever feel like this person has been affected by their current lifestyle, maybe being on phone too much, maybe using AI, being, you know, just using AI in general, like maybe somebody who lost their work because of AI, or somebody whose life has been made better by AI. Have you ever encountered somebody who, like, you can say like this is a living proof of somebody who has been affected by AI?
Actually, yeah. So I've had a client who has been affected positively by AI. This particular person was able to like stand up on his feet. When it comes to like job, you know, there are very many jobs, especially the AI. So he was able to like have hands-on experience kwa AI in terms of like generating new ideas, in terms of research. He was able to like get hold of this particular AI that we're talking about, and he was able like to make himself better. So yes, I have had a client who has gained positive, gained kitu positive from AI. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now back to Edwin, umesema that hii AI ilikusaidianga at that certain time kufanya kazi yako ikakuwa easier nini.
Yes.
And all this you did maybe on a tablet, a laptop or a phone. Do you feel like maybe if that wasn't there, you would have called several people or have had to pay several people ndo wakupatia certain information nini? Do you feel like maybe it took someone's job away?
Well, I would say in that particular problem that I was solving, were it not for AI, I would have had a very tough time, because I would have first done a lot of research, because this client, first of all, is not in Kenya. So I have to figure out the line of work that they are in, how can I get more information about them? So I don't think anyone's job would have been lost in that case. It's more of I didn't use the traditional way of researching, rather than I actually adopted AI during that time when it was very new, and I was able to see its potential very early on. Yes.
And generally, do you think that inapunguzia watu kazi, like utapata more people are losing their jobs or job opportunities are being taken away because of
Now, in truth,
AI?
yes, in truth, there are some jobs that will be eliminated by AI, but the truth is that also roles are changing.
Yeah.
Roles are changing because, as I told you, for example, in my case, I'm a regular graphic designer.
Yeah.
Right? I design logos, I design flyers, things like that. But now ChatGPT can do a better job faster than me. It can create faster, better logos than me. So what that means for me as a graphic designer, I need to pivot my skills, but still using AI. And so what I usually do, I now create content packages for clients. So I come to your business, I ask you, hey, are you on social media? Are you active? If no, I can create content for you. Now, I'm not saying AI cannot do that, but at this point, such a skill, it requires a human skill to deliver such kind of work. So yes, jobs will be lost, but jobs will also be created and roles will change. True. That is exactly what is happening today. Even if I may add a little bit on that, even in tech, those people who are in tech, we can see AI is writing code. By just writing a prompt, you can create an entire website. So what this means for the average coder is that if they only knew how to write code, that won't be enough in the next few years. They need to pivot into something more complex or learn a new skill. because AI has already eliminated that entry level skill. Yes.
And Becky, wewe kama psychologist, I feel like ni kama wewe area yako unakuwa affected a lot, cause tell me if it is true, cause for me personally, if you ask me kama naweza niamke asubuhi nijitayarishe nipande gari niende kwa ofisi ya psychologist, ama I just open my phone and talk to ChatGPT, tell ChatGPT my problems, nini, which one will I choose? For me and most of the Gen Zs and even millennials out there, we are going to choose ChatGPT. So do you feel like AI is coming for your job as a psychologist?
Now, something maybe yenye nitaanza nayo ni kusema, I feel like AI cannot really like replace humans, and I have a valid reason to that, because you know, we as humans, we have a certain character. We are emotionally intelligent. I don't know if, yes, exactly, isn't it? We are emotionally intelligent, and that is one thing AI doesn't have, you know.
Yeah.
Me being a psychologist and having a client there, we are talking, we are connecting emotionally. That is one thing AI cannot do, you know.
Yeah.
AI, you have to feed it information for it to give you a desired output. What about me? You have to tell me your problems. I have to think about it. I have to internalize in a morally good way, you know, as a psychologist, as a human being. And I feel like to some point, yes, you might consult, people might consult AI to help them maybe find a solution to something, but technically and morally, I don't feel like it will really like replace a human being, you know. Yes, so for me, I don't feel threatened. I don't feel threatened because I know at all, because I know these are things that AI doesn't have, you know, something like emotional intelligence. Hiyo ni kitu moja najua AI haina, you know. Yes, and hakuna kitu poa kama emotional intelligence, me being able to connect with my fellow human being, you know.
But we know that AI is evolving. Kama ukiangalia sahi online, when like 2 years ago, ungepata like what somebody can create at most is something that looks cartoonish. But right now you will go to maybe Instagram or TikTok Reels and you're going to see something, a creator, an influencer who is AI generated, but they look really human. Like you have to look to it, like you even have to go and Google it. Is this a real person or is this AI? So don't you feel like maybe in some years to come, the emotional intelligence and the morals that we're talking about are going to get better on AI?
No, I don't really think so, because, you know, that is like the strength of humans. It's like a human strength. I don't know if you get me. It comes from internal, you know. For AI, you have to prompt it, literally. You have to give it data, you have to give it information for it to give you that desired output. So I still believe we humans have that particular strength that AI doesn't have. Even in the next years to come, I still believe that we humans remain undefeated in that particular area. Yes.
Okay.
Could I add something on that? Because that's actually a very valid point. Because AI is only logically intelligent. It's only mathematically intelligent. Like it can do math, it can think, it can reason. But the emotional intelligence aspect of it, no matter how good AI gets, it's still a machine at the end of the day. And what makes us human is emotional intelligence. So as she said, it can never replace that. Yes, I agree with her.
Okay, that is something that I will debate on, because for me most of the time, sometimes you go to ChatGPT and you're like, hey sis, I'm a hey babe, and it replies to you like, hey babe, and you're like, okay, like there's something going on here, you know. And ukiongelesha emotionally, it talks to you back emotionally, you know. So for me, I feel like there's a little bit emotional intelligence there.
No, I think you have to be very intentional when you are interacting with these AI tools, because you are the human and that's a machine. No matter how much it seems like it understands you, at the end of the day, it's a machine. The way it's replying to you, the way you're saying, it's because you've taught it to reply like that. That's part of machine learning. So the fact that you've trained it to speak like that, you have to remember that you trained it. It's not an actual human being behind that keyboard.
Yeah, true. And okay, so to our viewers, nataka kuuliza swali. I want you to go to our social media pages. Enda pale Facebook, enda pale Instagram, enda pale X. You're going to find us at Y254 channel on all the social media platforms. Kuna swali hapo tumeuliza. Would you let AI make decisions for you? Would you let AI make decisions for you? I mean, any decisions. any decision, like unaweza uliza tu AI swali kama unataka advice and it gives you advice, are you going to take that advice? Are you going to put that advice to action? So kimbia pale social media, tuambie where you watching us from and tell us what you think. Would you let AI make decisions for you? Would you?
I would say I would take it as I would give AI an assistive role to help me make the decision, but I would never let it make a final decision for me. Because even in AI, no matter how good it gets, there's something called human in the loop. Basically, that means for anything AI does, there has to be a human being overlooking what it's doing. Whether you're writing code using AI, it's very important that you have someone who knows how to write code to overlook the code that it's writing, to make sure it doesn't have bugs, it doesn't have, you know, insecurities, things like that. So even in decision making, no matter how tough a decision you have to make, you can consult AI to give you a different point of view, but the final decision has to come from you as a person, because at the end of the day, as I said, AI is a tool of leverage. You use it as a tool, not a means to an end.
Okay, that makes sense. And going back to we had talked about some survey that was done. And what do you think about the AI in the future? Is it going to get better? Is it going to help people get better? Or is it going to be a hindrance or a threat to human beings?
I think it's going to be, I think, the biggest opportunity that has come to us since the internet. Because this same conversation we are having right now was the same conversation we were having when the internet was launched back in the late 90s, early 2000s. People are asking themselves, now that the internet is here, does it mean some people will lose jobs? Does it mean the world is doomed? Because there are people who actually thought the world is doomed because of the internet. So we are basically reliving the same conversation we had back then with AI today. And you can see very well what the internet has done for us up to this point. The internet has birthed AI as we know it. Which means that the next innovation that will be very pivotal to the human existence might be created using AI. And so there's a lot of opportunities to come. And actually, it's predicted that by 2030, AI as an industry will add $15.7 trillion to the world economy. What that means is that there will be $15.7 trillion worth of opportunities for those who adopt and learn AI. Yes, so it's not a threat.
But I feel like for me, kuna industries tofauti, and for me specifically my creative industry, I feel like it's going to be a threat. Sikatai, there is the pros of it, but I feel like the cons are much bigger. I think it is depending on the industries. Like for example, in my industry, creative industry, utapata clients, instead of using actual models, wanataka wa generate AI images, and that your image ingekuwa ni model alitumika kalipwa. Unaona hata siku hizi billboards, they're using AI generated images, which is like cutting down jobs. And for me, I feel like in the long run tutakuwa tunapoteza kazi sana. And also looking at the side ya influencing, kama I was telling you about the way they are generating influencers wakitumia AI. Na wanakaa so real, and they are getting this easy influencers who are AI generated. Sidhani kuna mwenye akona chini ya 1 million followers. Like they're getting major numbers. They are working with the big brands like Prada, Chanel, nini. And this is something that an actual human being could be doing. So what does that say to you? Do you feel like human beings are going to be more frustrated or have more mental issues because now they have to compete with a machine or something that you really can't compete with?
It's
Becky, as a psychologist.
So as a psychologist, for real, it's quite undebatable that sometimes unapatanga like the billboards all over ziko images za AI. Ukiangalia online, people are using AI in their businesses. Sometimes it might feel as a threat. Sometimes it does.
For me, I feel threatened vibaya sana. Because sometimes I look at a billboard and I'm like, mimi ndio nafaa kukua hapo, ama my friend should be there. But it's
It's very crazy by the way, because many people feel threatened. But one thing I can say is there are certain things that we can't really rely on AI. I really feel like as human beings we shouldn't see AI as a threat to us. Rather, we should see it as something that has come up to help us. You know, something that has come up to help us. Sorry. So that is what I feel about AI. I mean, like, at some point, yes, we might feel threatened that it's taking most of our jobs, but look at authenticity. We need to have authenticity. As much as we want to go the easier way, we want to go the cheaper way. Because why are people running towards AI? Because they feel like it's cheaper, it's time saving, you know, they'll spend less. But again, that authenticity is what appear out here. We also need out here, the authenticity.
And do you ever use AI when you're dealing with your clients? Like mtu akuulize swali ama amekuletea a certain situation and you feel like, hey, this one I have to check somewhere. Do you ever just rush like to ChatGPT and you're like, eh, there's this problem here, must they help me, come through for me?
Countless times actually. I use AI quite a lot. In a day naizetumia mara mingi sana. Siwezi kasiku kasijaguza AI kiasi. And mostly maybe ChatGPT, a bit of designing here and there as well. Yeah. So, kuna those times zenye unakaka hivi, client amekwambia kitu and then you're like, how am I supposed to handle this? You know, as a human being. Unaona sasa inabidi niende kwa AI, nipatie hiyo prompt, nipatie maybe ka story kiasi so that it can be able to also like give me a detailed maybe like a detailed output on what particular thing I'm supposed to tell that client. But I don't let it like influence what I tell my clients, you know. Like he said earlier on, let the final decision be yours. So I let the final thing I tell the client be mine. Imetoka kwangu. I've just gotten that output, that idea of what I need to tell that particular client. But yeah, I do use AI quite a number of times. Kila siku. Yeah.
And Edwin, do you ever like sometimes unapata kazi as a graphic designer, you also have your website to run, you have a lot of things going. Sometimes a client comes to you with something and you're just like, like just let AI deal with that. Like you just generate it from the AI and then you send it to the client. Like just letting AI deal directly with your client, where we could trap or maybe as the person, the bridge in between the two of them. Do you ever do that?
For me, it doesn't come to that point because that means by the time you're getting to a point where businesses can fully automate interaction with their customers for businesses, it will mean adoption will be very high in Kenya. Basically, for me, it hasn't come to a point whereby I let AI handle my clients. Yeah, but I'll of course sometimes produce work that is AI generated, but of course I have to put my own personal touch to it. So as far as communication is concerned, I still communicate with my client, but I still use AI at the back of my work as I would say my co-pilot. That's the right word. It's my co-pilot. It helps me figure out how I can help a client, things like that. But communication with direct clients, that's on me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to our viewers back at home, nataka sana kusikia maoni yenyu. Would you let AI make decisions for you? Nataka sana kusoma maoni yenyu. So eneni pale kwa social media platforms zetu, nimesema Facebook, Instagram and at X. You're going to find us at Y254 channel. Enda hapo kwa utapata post yenye imewekwa hapo, then there's a question there. Would you let AI make decisions for you? Let us know what you think. And as we are still talking about AI and work, do you ever feel like it makes people lazy?
That has been a very, very controversial question since the existence of ChatGPT. Because the conversation is around, okay, something that used to take you, like the example I gave you, something that could have taken me a week or so, I did it in 4 days. But does that make me lazier? No, it makes me smarter because I'm able to leverage a technology that can enable me to work faster, deliver work faster, and deliver it better because, again, it's AI, it's a form of intelligence on its own. So AI is not making people lazier, even though I cannot fully say that that is also not true, because to some extent, there are people who are now at this point, you know, if you want to do something, AI. The people cannot do practical thinking without using AI. And And in AI, we call that cognitive debt, whereby there's someone who is so used to consulting AI on everything to a point whereby they've delegated all the intelligence to these AI tools. So it comes to a point whereby all the intelligence is on these AI tools, so they cannot think on their own feet. That is the biggest problem, and that's the conversation we should be having, because I do know so many people who, for the simplest question, that requires simple reasoning, they'll have to refer to an AI tool.
Yeah.
And yet you know very well, if you actually took your time, you could give me an answer, but you have to go to an AI tool.
Yeah.
So the fact that AI is making people lazier, I would say the word is not lazier, rather than they are delegating too much of their own intelligence to these AI tools. And in the process, your own intelligence deteriorates.
Yeah,
that's
true.
the biggest tragedy.
Because I feel like
Yeah.
it takes away a lot of creativity
For sure,
from you.
for sure.
Because I feel like sometimes kama ungekaa chini ufikirie how to handle a certain situation, your brain develops more, like akili inafunguka some more. But each time like ukifikiria tu niko na kashida, you rush to your phone, you type in ChatGPT, tell me this, tell me that. You know, like it takes, like unapata tu vitu instantly. It's like ile instance ya somebody who has grown, build something in steps through thinking and growing, like physically and mentally. Hakuna difference ya huyo na mtu mwenye tu like amechipuka tu all of a sudden they are rich ama something of that sort. Like for me, I feel like when we have it is a good thing, but kuna vile watu wanaitumia, because sometimes hata una go through social media, you go through comment sections and you're like, I asked that to ChatGPT, and I'm like, you asked that question to ChatGPT, how? Because it does not make sense. Kuna just these small things that people are rushing to ask ChatGPT, and maybe other forms of AI that just don't make sense to me. Because sasa for me, I feel like sasa tumeachia AI kazi yote. And that goes to you, Becky, as a psychologist. You have known life without ChatGPT. You have known life without AI. And you know life with AI right now. Do you feel like the society has changed the way they function? Like people are more slower, or they are quicker, or something of that? Do you feel like personalities za watu zimechange juu ya AI?
Definitely. Lazima tu change, because hata sahi there is that like over reliance on AI.
Yeah.
You have a small problem, let me ask AI. You have a small thing you want to do, let me go to AI. So yes, there is definitely like a change. And for me, maybe I won't say it's laziness, maybe let's just say it's over reliance. And ultimately your over reliance to some point inaweza lead to akili nafungana, you know, you can't think on your own. So things are really changing right now, by the way. Things are really changing right now. And comparing kitambo na sahi, let's say way before, people were creative, yes, and sahi maybe they are more creative because of the help of AI. That is my own opinion. Sahi, those imaginative things that you used to think of, those creative things that you used to think of,
especially in art, like artists who draw murals, you find like say like they don't really take their time to really think about that thing deeply. Like they have to maybe prompt it AI, and then they get a mural out of that, and then maybe they're just going to draw it. Like kazi yao ni kuchora tu, like it doesn't have a human touch.
Yeah, it doesn't. Kabisa. So I can say like kitambo, that creativity, sahi tuseme like people are more creative, maybe due to the help of AI actually. Yeah.
And mtazamaji, I'm going to ask you this question again. I really want to know what you think at home, guys, because mimi hapa my brain cells are just, so I want you to tell me again on our social media platforms, would you let AI make decisions for you? I will be reading the comments when we come back from this commercial break. Do not go anywhere.